Dhanva Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Guru Maharaj. Thank you for joining the call. Okay. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are very fortunate. We have Her Grace VanaMalini Manjari Devi Dasi Mataji. And Mataji is going to enlighten us from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Canto 7, Chapter 15, verse 68 onwards. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji, you may take over the call when you are ready.
Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the devotees assembled on the call. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And thank you, Tamarasika Mataji, for giving the opportunity to glorify Srimad Bhagavatam and pastimes of Lord. We will start with Mangalacharan prayers and then we will go on to the verse. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanasalankayam चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं हंसजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे बृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदम। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Once again, my humble obeisances to all the devotees assembled on the call. Sometimes when we get caught up in this worldly things or in our day-to-day life, we forget to count our blessings. And the biggest blessing and the fortunate thing that is to able to join regularly and hear Srimad Bhagavatam in the morning as the first thing in a day. And also chant the names of the Lord. That is the most fortunate thing as a human we all can have. That is the bestest thing. Generally, we look at the worldly things and we call out those as the fortunate things or the fortunate people. Oh, they are very fortunate. They are so rich. They are very fortunate. They are so famous. They are very fortunate. They don't have any difficulties. So this is the things we generally talk because that's what we see and know that those have values. When we are not aware of the spiritual subject matters or the real goal of the human form of life. And when we start reading scriptures and doing sadhana, and we realize that the most important thing as a human being is able to render devotional service to the Lord. And if we are doing that as the first thing in the day, by Sravanam and Kirtanam, by listening to Srimad Bhagavatam and chanting the holy names of the Lord, our day is set. Like we are in good place to take off for that day. And if we are able to do that day after day without any kind of break or any kind of obstacles, that means Lord's mercy is there on us. Guru's mercy is on us. Harinam's mercy is on us. And Srimad Bhagavatam's mercy is on us. And we are all very fortunate. And whenever I join any of the morning sessions or any of the Srimad Bhagavatam sessions, which are very regular, my heart feels so grateful and happy that we are all very fortunate. Having said that, we are going it almost to the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto, which actually speaks about the pastime of Lord Nrsimhadev. So Bhagavatam has, you all who have been reading regularly already know, there are so many conversations happen. Like it starts with Suta Goswami explaining Srimad Bhagavatam to Saunakadi Rishis in Naimisharanya forest before the start of the Kali Yuga. They ask, and then he starts speaking. So when he starts speaking, so the initial conversation starts between Suta Goswami and Saunakadi Rishis. So Saunaka and Adi Rishis means there are so many sages there who are all listening to Srimad Bhagavatam when Suta Goswami was explaining. And then in that comes the conversation of Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. So the whole Srimad Bhagavatam starts because Parikshit Maharaj is cursed to die in 7 days. And he asks what is the best thing to do. And then Sukadeva Goswami, who is the son of Vyasadeva, narrates Srimad Bhagavatam to him, saying that this is the best thing and this is the thing that you have to do when you know that you're going to leave the body. And we all pretty much know how unpredictable life is. The only certainty of the life is its uncertainty and its unpredictable nature. And the recent incidents in the world also often remind us that life is unpredictable. When we know that something is temporary or unpredictable, we should take the best advantage of it and do the best things that we can do with that. Because we don't have room or time to waste on unnecessary things. So once we realize that, so many things automatically start happening for us. So Sukadeva Goswami is explaining Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. And inside that, there comes, when Sukadeva Goswami is narrating Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, he speaks about all the conversations between Maitreya Muni and Vidura. Like he also brings out when he's explaining when he's speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, he also brings the conversations between great sages, great kings, and then explains it to Parikshit Maharaj. So 7th canto starts with Yudhishthira Maharaj, the eldest of the Pandavas, asking Narada Muni whether Lord is partial. So from there the conversation starts, and he's explaining the story of Narsimha and Prahlad. So before that, he also speaks about how Hiranyakashipu is consoling his brother's wives and his mother when Hiranyaksha was killed. So Hiranyaksha was killed by Lord Varaha when the earth was submerging in the water. So Krishna takes the form as Varaha, kills Hiranyaksha, and uplifts the earth and keeps it in its orbit. So everybody is feeling very sad. And then Hiranyakashipu, he speaks philosophy at that time. So everybody gets confused, like he knows all the philosophy, then why did he become a demon? So So sometimes we also see people speak philosophy, but they don't really understand and uh, practice it. So while consoling his parent, his mother and the wives of Hiranyaksha, he speaks about how King Suyagna, when he passed away, his wives were feeling bad, and how Yamadharmaraja has come in the form of a small boy and speaks philosophy to them. And he also explains a small story in that how there were two birds, and one bird, the male bird, was worried that the female bird was caught by the hunter and worries that the wife is going to die. But actually, the male bird dies. So, this is something we always do also. Like we see around us many people leaving their bodies and going, and then we feel bad for them. We will feel very sad. Um, and then we also miss them, worry, and we see this happening very happening all the time, and then we don't get we never think that, oh, there will be one day when I am also going to leave this body. That thought process will not start in us. Once that thought process starts in us, we'll start realizing what is important, what is not, for what I should worry, for what I should not worry. Where should I spend my time? Should I spend all my time, all the time in earning money and running behind the things which I'm going to leave and go away? Or what is the purpose of the life that I have taken now? Is this the first life? I have been doing this again and again? Or what is it? So, all this will start coming when we realize that. So, he wonderfully explains that conversation, and it moves on to Prahlad Maharaj and Narasimha, and we have heard around 5 or 6 chapters of Prahlad Maharaj's preaching and everything wonderfully. And then Prahlad Maharaj gets the darshan of the Lord, and Narasimha appears and kills Hiranyakashipu. Hmm. And we also see how Krishna keeps the word of Brahma, because Brahma is the first living entity in any universe. And Brahma gives boons to Hiranyakashipu, how Hiranyakashipu thinks that he's very smart and he can escape death. And he puts all the conditions and asks Brahma, and Brahma grants his wish. So Krishna never, Narayana or Krishna never overrides his devotees. Like he will never ever make his devotees fail in any way. So he did not really said that, oh, Brahma is not smart enough. Brahma works under me, so he's not smart enough, and he gave Hiranyakashipu that kind of a boon. Um, so I'm going to override that boon and kill Hiranyakashipu. No, Krishna does not do that. He keeps the words, he keeps the promise of Brahma intact, and then kills Hiranyakashipu. So much, um, that much loving is the Lord. Like he always makes sure that his devotees' words are devotees' promises are kept. He may break his own promise, but he never breaks his devotees' promise. So if his devotees are promising something, Krishna makes sure that it will happen. And then Hiranyakashipu was killed by the Lord. And then after that, the conversation is going, and Yudhishthir Maharaj is getting instructions from Narada Muni. So we often speak one good quality from the Pandavas. Many of us know only that they are very united. That is there. They are very united. It's not that they are blindly following Yudhishthira and they don't question him. Oftentimes they question him. Like when Draupadi was disrobed, when they were sent to the forest, many times they go and discuss with Yudhishthira. Like, what should be the action point? Should we suffer like this, or should we go and attack Duryodhana? So they often talk, but again, when they talk to Yudhishthira, and when Yudhishthira reasons out, saying that this is how, what is the Dharma saying and all, they abides to his final decision. They abides to his final decision, and they will follow that. So there happens a good conversation of what is right, what is wrong, what should we follow? Should we follow whatever our mind is saying, or should we follow our emotions, or should we take a pause and check what the scriptures are saying? So this is something we all should learn also. Like when we are dealing with worldly activities day to day in our life, we always tend to react. The moment something happens to us, we feel the natural thing that comes is the reaction. That very naturally comes because we are very much in body conscious and we are very much, we love us so much. We all love ourselves so much. So it immediately comes. The humbleness is not very natural by birth. Very for few people, it's very natural and they do that. But most of us actually we react, and most of the times we think that reacting is what is my right, and I should be protecting myself in the reaction. And then when we may do the things which sometimes we don't mean them, or we may talk the things that we don't mean. If we can keep a pause and then respond, like if we put a pause and we start thinking like what will be the consequences of the action that I'm going to do now, whether this is the right thing to do or not, is this the situation where I have to tolerate and wait and take an action, or is it the thing that I have to immediately act? You don't need to take minutes and minutes of a pause. A second is enough. Like, let me back off one step. Let me put one step backward and think and do. And then, if we can do like that, so many things we can fix. So many things we can save ourselves and also others uh, from hurting, and then also from incurring sins, especially from incurring sin. So, this is what the Pandavas generally do. And they often take good counsel, instructions from the sages, from rishis, and then also, most importantly, from Krishna. Good counsel of Krishna was available for everybody. It was available for Duryodhana also. Krishna himself goes and speaks, but Duryodhana never makes use of it. But Pandavas, being great devotees, being soft hearted, knowing, they always take good counsel. Before they do anything, they check whether this is how it should be done or not. This is right or not. It's not that they are not capable, they don't have physical strength, or they are not well versed in, they are not they are not physically strong or mentally strong or not skillful. No, they are very skillful. Arjuna is so skillful that he realizes once when the lights goes off that I can eat food without seeing, then I should be able to shoot arrows also. And he practices throughout the night. It is not that Krishna being partial, and even though they are not capable, they are not skillful, they are not talented, Krishna has uplifted them, and then Krishna has given protection. They have attracted Krishna's mercy through their devotion, to their skills, to their talents, to their following of Dharma. So we all also want to attract Krishna's mercy. These are the things that we learned from Pandavas. So Pandavas teach us so many things. Whoever has read Mahabharata, they know that, like, even at the time of Kurukshetra war, just before the war starts to happen, Yudhishthira goes and takes blessings of Bhishma, Dronacharya, Krupacharya, Selya, everybody. And they all tell him, like, no, they are all actually on the opposite side for their own reasons. Bhishma for his own promise that he has given, Dronacharya because he's a minister, and then he's financially supported by Duryodhana. Krupacharya was financially supported. They have different reasons, and they took the side of the adharma. But what is the respect Yudhishthira gave to them? That they are elders and teachers. It's not that ideologically he is agreeing with them, like, oh, they are right, they are taking the side of adharma, so that is right. He's not ideologically agreeing with them, but they are teachers, and they always wished good for Pandavas, even though they cannot take their side. So he goes and takes blessings of all of them. When he was going, everybody stops him. Like all the four brothers tried to stop him, saying that what are you going to do now? Why are you walking to the opposite side? Are you going to stop now the war, or what? Um, we are all set for war. It's the war is going to start. We are going to blow our horns, and then war is going to start. And then he goes and talks, and he takes blessings, and he specifically asks all of them, like, you are all great warriors. what is that I can do to win this war? What should one quality that I have to win this war? And then they all blesses him, saying that, if you did not come and take our blessings, we may have that in our heart that you did not take. But since you came and took, victory is yours. We know that you are going to win. And also they give out um, clues for him, like, this is how you should be winning. So that how nicely they were following the dharma. So in the same way, he is getting all the good counsel from Narada Muni. See, when we are humble and when we want to transform ourselves, when we really want to change ourselves, when we go and approach spiritual master or senior devotees, and when we humbly ask, in the way we ask, in the way we approach, our sincerity comes in our words most of the times. What is in our heart comes in our words, one comes in our actions. Only when we are highly emotional, our heart and our words and our actions does not match. But most of the times, our sincerity matches in our words and in our things. And that sincerity is what attracts anybody, and they want to speak more and give out more than what we went and ask. So we should be always looking for that. It's when we meet the devotees, when we meet Guru, we should not speak about ourselves a lot. Like, what did I do this whole year? I have done this much of service, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. So we should keep all that aside, and then we should ask them, like, take our challenges and go and ask sincerely, I have these challenges. What is the suggestion that you're going to give me? How I'm going to overcome this? And then they will speak and they will guide us. And that is guidance is going to help us a lot. And that's what Pandavas have always done. And that is what Yudhishthira has done. And Narada Muni is explaining him the instructions that are required for the human beings. So after this sloka, after 68th sloka, Narada Muni goes on and explains his previous life. So this is the last sloka where he's concluding almost. Yata Hyuyam Drupadi. Um, Somebody has to mute. Yata Hyuyam Rupadeva Dustyajad Apadganad Uttaratmanah Prabho Yatpadapankeruhasevaya Bhavan Aharashin Nirjita Diggajakratun. Yata, as he indeed, Yuyam, all of you, Pandavas, Nrupadeva, O Lord of Kings, human beings and demigods, Dustyajat, insurmountable, Apad, dangerous conditions, Ghanat, from all, Uttarata, escaped, Atmanaha, own, Prabhu of the Lord, Yatpada Pankeruha, whose lotus feet, Sevaya, by serving, Bhavan, yourself, Aharasit, performed, Nirjita, defeating, Diggajaha, the most powerful enemies, who are like elephants, Kratun, ritualistic ceremonies. So, such a beautiful verse. Narada Muni is um, certifying how Pandavas were feeling safe and secure all the time. And we all want this safety and security. That's why we make so many plans. We buy a good house, we want a good car, we buy insurance policies, we work, we save. We do all these things because we want to feel safe and security. And that is what is lacking in today's world. We don't know what will happen next minute, and we don't know what is safe, what is not safe. And that is constantly pumping anxiety in us. When earlier days, the things were like not so easily coming to us. Uh, Whoever used to read the newspaper or big incidents only we will know, and then it's not also a constant uh, news, so we are not that worried. Now the things are so fastly knowing, we are knowing what is happening around the world, and then we are knowing it at wrong timings. We are knowing sometimes not properly processed news, not completely verified or anything. And because of this WhatsApp social media, sometimes not correct news also spreads so faster, and we get anxiety. And when we are processing all this information, we don't know what to do. Like, we are in constant anxiety, constant fear, and we don't know when to stop consuming this, how to stop consuming this, how to believe, how to not believe. We don't know this over information, how to process. And everybody is worried. The people who are in India, in a small village and doing their own things, were worried about what is happening in USA. If their family members are there, earlier all you have to call and tell them, and then the family members used to filter the things. Let us not tell some things to them. Let's not make them worry, because making them worry is not going to do anything, is not going to solve the problem. It's because we are going to face it, and we are going to tell them when the thing is over. But now, because of the phones, we don't need to tell anything to anybody. They call us and they ask us. Oh, we had this. They may be hearing one thing somewhere, and they may not be having a complete idea, picture of what it is. But the anxiety has already started, because, oh, my loved one is there, and then they start worrying. And same with us also. When we see the news in India or somewhere else, we don't know how to take this over information that is being bombarded on us, and then over sense gratification requests that are coming to us. So we are like in a messed up situation. We want to do good things, but there is so many things happening around us. We are worried about them, and we are not able to do what we are supposed to do. And we don't know when to stop consuming this, how to deal with this, what. So there is an answer here in this verse for all those things, because Narada Muni, a great devotee who has access to everywhere, who is the spiritual master of many devotees in Srimad Bhagavatam, very few you will see that Narada Muni did not instruct. Every great devotee are instructed by Narada Muni. Narada Muni is such a great spiritual master, and he customizes those instructions to the devotee. So that is how it is. Preaching is always common sense. We have to use that. And Narada Muni does that so wonderfully. And Narada Muni is now confirming what has kept Pandavas safe and sound in all the calamities that they have faced in their life. And it also applies to us. O King Yudhishthira, because of your service to the Supreme Lord, all of you Pandavas defeated the greatest dangers posed by numerous kings and demigods. By serving the lotus feet of Krishna, you conquered great enemies who were like elephants, and thus you collected ingredients for sacrifice. By his grace, may you be delivered from the material involvement. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Placing himself as an ordinary householder, Maharaj Yudhishthira inquired from Narad Muni how a Gruha Mudadi, a person who is entangled in household life and who thus continues to remain a fool, can be delivered. Narad Muni encouraged Maharaj Yudhishthira by saying, "You are already on the safe side, because you, along with your entire family, have become a pure devotee of Krishna. By Krishna's grace, the Pandavas conquered in the battle of Kurukshetra and were saved from many dangers posed not only by kings but sometimes even by the demigods. Thus, they are a practical example of how to live in security and safety by the grace of Krishna. Everyone should follow the example of the Pandavas, who showed how to be saved by the grace of Krishna. Our Krishna conscious movement is intended to teach how everyone can live peacefully in this material world and at the end of life return home back to Godhead. In the material world, there are always dangers at every step. Padam padam yad vipadam natesham. Nonetheless, if one takes shelter of Krishna without hesitation and keeps under the shelter of Krishna, he can easily cross the ocean of nuisance. Samasrita epada pallava plavam mahat padam punya yasho murare. To the devotee, this great ocean of nuisance becomes like a puddle of water in the hoofprint of a cow. A pure devotee, without embarrassing himself by trying to for elevation in so many ways, stays in the safest position as a servant of Krishna, and thus his life is eternally safe without a doubt. What a wonderful purport. Every line, all of you might have already understood. All of you are such great devotees. And you might have already understood but for my own purification and for glorification of the Lord and Lord's lotus feet. Let us go dive deep into this, each and every line, and how we can feel safe and secure in this constantly anxiety driven, panic driven, sense driven material world. Because we face this every day. We every moment, every minute, we face all these challenges, and sometimes we fall to these traps, and sometimes we save ourselves. How can we be so constantly devoted to the Lord? O King Yudhishthira, because of your service to the Supreme Lord, all of you Pandavas defeated the greatest dangers posed by numerous kings and demigods. Narada is confirming that being a devotee of a god, it's not that you will not face any troubles. But the devotees of the Lord does not see those troubles as troubles. They see them as opportunities to surrender to the Lord and to serve the Lord and to get more closer to the Lord. It is not that when you are facing sufferings or when you are facing troubles or when you are facing reversals in your life, uh, either Lord is not powerful or you are not a great devotee. Generally, the first thing people will do is like have a doubt on the mercy of the Lord or on the supremacy of the Lord or on the greatness of the Lord. That is the biggest problem. Our faith is so tender. Like as soon as we get a reversal in life, we will start to doubt the Lord, and our faith becomes weak. And then we want to come out of that trouble. And then when we are not able to, we find different avenues to come out of that, and we change the parties sometimes. So the great devotees of the Lord never ever took any of those troubles as misfortunes or as something that is to doubt the Lord. They just used every opportunity to serve the Lord. So it's not that troubles will not come to the great devotees. The perspective towards those sufferings, the perspective towards those trouble is different for the devotees. And it is different for the normal people. Those who are not devotees or those who are approaching the Lord for material benefits or material desires to fulfilling, when those desires are not fulfilled, you get frustrated, obviously. And you also get frustrated when you are not protected or when some miseries are coming or when reversals are happening. So reversals are actually one kind of a test which tells how our faith is. And are we still holding to the lotus feet of the Lord with the same love and devotion or not? Is what actually reversals prove to us. Before that, when everything is going good, when everything going as we have planned, and there were no reversals, there is a biggest danger in that. We may suddenly start feeling that, oh, I may be the supreme. I have cracked out the life secret. Why they are saying that life is full of troubles? I'm not facing any troubles. I have planned so perfectly my life that I was not facing any trouble. I'm able to fulfill all my desires. Whatever I am desiring, I'm getting. Whatever I am planning, that is happening. So everything is going good. And suddenly the pride starts sweeping, and it may say that, oh, maybe you are so great. Maybe you are even greater than the God because you are able to overcome all the things and go. So when things go like that, there is a biggest danger. So the reversals actually put us in our position because that's not reality. Whether we agree or not, that's not the reality. Everything in this material and spiritual world is controlled by Lord. Everything is maintained by the Lord. Lord is the only one who is there from the beginning to end. And without Lord's mercy, nothing happens. We may be ignorant and we might have forgot our relationship with him, and we may not know his greatness. Many people don't know his greatness. So that's why they think that everything is working on its own and there is no Lord. Every the reversals that happen in our life, so many things in the world keep reminds us that no, there are so many things out of our control. But if we are so obsessed with I, then we will be like get in that caught and we start thinking that I may be the great. So reversals are the opportunities for us to test our own devotion to the lotus feet of the Lord and our own faith. So this material world in the first place is created so that a soul which has revolted against the Lord, saying that I don't want to be with you, I don't want to serve you, I want to be supreme, I want to be the controller. And then Krishna also graciously said, okay, go to the material world, be your own controller, be your own enjoyer, do whatever you want to do, because I also don't want you to love me forcefully. I want you to love me voluntarily. So he has created this material world, but he pretty much knows that the individual soul, even though it claims to be independent, is not really independent. So he does everything through his energies in this world and makes things happen. We are not even capable of digesting the food that we eat. Without Krishna's Jataragni, the fire inside our stomach, we won't be able to digest our food also. So but we don't know. We don't know those things and we think that we are very independent. So Krishna has created in the first place the material world like this. So any of these three problems will be there for us. Problems that are given by our body or our mind, problems by natural calamities, problems by relatives and friends. One of these will be there for any individual in this world. We cannot escape that. So when these reversals are happening, actually we will know that this world is not the place for us to stay permanently. And we need to start thinking how we need to start realizing the nature of this world and start planning to go back to the place where we can be out of all these miseries. So the reason many of us does not take Krishna consciousness very seriously, the japa very seriously, because we don't know the value of it. If you have a gold mine, if somebody says that you have a gold mine in your backyard, those of us who know the value of the gold, even if we are not capable of digging, we will go and dig that and we will take that gold out because we know the value of it. We will not sit calm. Whether we need it or not, we will go and dig and we will take it out. But then why we are not able to do the God consciousness, Krishna consciousness, the japa that seriously? Because the biggest problem is we don't know the value of it. Once we start realizing the value of it, automatically the seriousness, the sincerity to practice it will come. And to know the value of it is what is we are doing in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita sessions. And the japa is to make us more serious and sincere. So the devotees of the Lord, it's not that they don't get troubles, but their perspective towards trouble is different. They know the nature of this world, which is temporary and which is full of miseries, and they do not get discouraged or disheartened or deviated or distracted from their path of devotional service to the Lord when miseries happen. Rather, they embrace those miseries and they think that, oh, because of this misery, I am able to remember you more and more, my Lord. And I want to remember, I am approaching you only for solutions to this misery. And you are the only shelter I am having. I don't have faith in any other things. And they use that more and more to get closer to the Lord. Those of us who discard those saying that, oh, it is a misfortune, I'm just an unlucky, then we won't put any effort to go and to seek shelter of the Lord. What we do instead? We sit down and we keep lamenting about the miseries, lamenting about the reversals. We lament to ourselves, we call people and we say that, oh, you know what is happening to me? How bad is my life? And then we keep going and repeating the same thing and worrying about the thing that is happening to us. If we step back 1 minute and think that Is there anything happening by me lamenting all the time? Is my problem getting shorter? Or I'm getting a sympathy and it is giving me a little bit of relief? What is happening really here? So, worrying is also a thought, praying is also a thought. If we can put a pause and we think that, is my worry going to solve my problem? If it is not going to solve my problem, what is really going to solve my problem? What is that I need at this point of time? First thing we need is to endure that. Fixing is the best thing that we can have when we have a problem. And sometimes the fixes are not very obvious. Let's say I broke my hand, and then uh, the fix won't happen until 6 weeks. If I have a cast, it will take 6 weeks. The first thing that I need is like enduring the pain and inconvenience and living that 6 weeks peacefully and trying to look at the positive thing and being grateful and moving on. So that's the first mentality I need. That's the thought. That's the thought. If it comes to me, I'll be more happy. So sometimes we may be having a good people around us who can pump that positiveness to us and say that, oh, no, worst could have happened to you. This is the smallest thing. So be happy and look at the positive side. Most of the times we don't have. Even if we have, we may not be feeling that inside us. And what is the best thing to approach at that time is the Harinam, chanting of the holy names of the Lord. So we have two options, whether to sit down and worry the 6 weeks about the broken hand and how we are not able to do so many things, or chant those 6 weeks. So when we take shelter of chanting, not only we get strength to endure the pain, we will also get positive outlook in that situation. We may be having a list of things that we are not able to do because we are always running, and that 6 weeks time we may start looking at that. So I was just listening to one of the audio by Gaurang Das Prabhu recently. Like, I don't know who, where I saw that, but there are two eagles which has to fly, and one eagle was flying, the other eagle was not flying because it was always sitting on the branch. It is very comfortable. So then they will call a sage or a farmer. I think a farmer comes. The king he employs all his ministers to do that, and the ministers cannot make that eagle fly. And the farmer comes, and then he fixes the problem in a minute. He cuts the tree, the branch on which the eagle is sitting, and then eagle is forced to fly, and the eagle starts flying. So sometimes the reversals are like that in our life. We may be so nicely tucked in the comfort zone of our life and not taking anything serious or not working to the fullest of our capacity. And when that branch gets broken, we will start taking that risk. We will start thinking out of the box. So there is always a positive thing to look in any situation. But if we spend all the time lamenting and feeling bad and sorry and sorrow, we will not look at that opportunity. We will be comfortably seeking sympathy or really seeking relief. I won't even say sympathy, really seeking relief in talking about our worries to others. And then we will be very happily going in that way. And it is of no use. It's literally of no use. After the 6 weeks, it's of no use. But if the same thing, if we convert towards Krishna, we shift towards Krishna, chant or read, oh, I am now cannot do many things because my hand is broken. Let me sit down and finish reading Bhagavatam. Let me sit down and finish reading Bhagavad Gita. If we can think like that in any situation, in any life, in any event, when things did not go as we planned, if we think of an alternative way of doing the things, our life starts changing, and our mentality to take shelter of Lord's feet in the reversals in our lives becomes very natural to us. And that is what happens with the Pandavas. Pandavas has faced lot of problems, but every time they took shelter of Krishna, and they always take good counsel. So this is what they did. Even in the prayers, Kunti prayers also, Kunti Maharani says the same thing to Krishna. Krishna, you have saved us from so many calamities. And and I am okay to have any more calamities in my life as long as I'm remembering you, as long as I can think of you. So that's where she comes, that words come for her, because she they were always seeking Krishna. So when somebody helps you in trouble, you kind of make a bond with them. You remember them for a longer time. And that is the opportunity these reversals and misfortunes in our life are giving us, to get closer to Krishna, to to take shelter more and more in a humble and meek and complete surrenderance, where we don't have any other source. So let us all not miss that. Take that inspiration from Pandavas. So here, um, Narad Muni is saying, because of your service to Supreme Lord, all of you Pandavas defeated the greatest danger posed by numerous kings and demigods. So not only the kings, even the Devi Devatas, they have faced the problems. They have fought with the Devi Devatas, and then Kandavavana pastime. So Devi Devatas are more powerful than us, and Pandavas fought with them also. By serving the lotus feet of Krishna, you conquered great enemies. So this is something which we always have to keep in mind. Serving the lotus feet of the Lord is the key, is the secret to face anything in this material world. Always serving the lotus feet of the Lord. So the first thing, the priority in our lives should be devotional service, our sadhana, because that is the most valuable thing. We keep trust and faith on so many material things which are very temporary, very, very temporary, actually. If you all see so many incidents recently, tell us that how much money you have is not going to protect, it's going to go away one day. So many things are going to go away one day. And then we spend all our time in accumulating all those things. And at the end of the day, we are not happy also. See, we see that parents work so hard and save money and make the kids study. And then they get upset when the kids don't listen, or when the kids start talking back, or when the kids leave the house and go on their own. And then you become very lonely and empty, and then you start worrying. And then you will be worrying, what did I do in my youth? I spent all my time on all these things. And at the end, I see that these are not really worth. I did not do anything for myself. So doing things for ourselves does not mean only the material things. Some people take care of themselves in the retirement. They have money for them, house for them. That is all very good. That is all we should do also, because it's needed. It's not a want, it's a need. Apart from that, we are all souls in the first place. So every day before going to bed, we all should ask ourselves, what did I do as a soul today? And what is the position of the soul? The constitutional position of the soul is that it is the eternal servant of the Lord. It has to serve the Lord. So, what did I do to serve the Lord today? Did I chant? Did I hear Srimad Bhagavatam? Did I read anything? Did I cook prasadam? So, we all should put that check mark every day. So, Krishna has given me one more day as a human. How did I utilize that day? Did I use it in self realization? Did I use it in serving Krishna or not? This is the question which we should keep asking. We should keep a reminder in our phones to pop up this question every day at the end of the day for us. Or in the beginning of the day, a reminder to us that spend as much time as you can in the service of the Lord. It's not that nobody is asking us to stop everything, because nobody will feed us. We have to feed ourselves. We have to work. But first thing in the morning, I'll take 5-10 minutes, sit down and chant and do something related to the Lord. And at the end, I will also think how I have done. And if we start this revising our days, or retrospective of our day every day, the next day will start with a good note that I am going to spend more time. I'm going to do good job as a service. It's okay if we did bad today. This day is gone now anyway. So tomorrow we'll set right. We'll do more. And once we do this sincerely like this, at some point of time, we will start becoming more and more sincere. We will start finding avenues to serve the Lord more and more. So this is what we should do. So, by serving the lotus feet of Krishna, you conquered great enemies who were like elephants, and thus you collected ingredients for sacrifice. By His grace, may you be delivered from material involvement. So, He is also blessing. Bharat Muni is also blessing that by Krishna's grace, you'll also come out of this, because it's not easy to come out of the material entanglement. We have been accumulating impressions, karma from so many lifetimes, and we are tying knots around us again and again, again and again, again and again. Actually, we took human form of life to break all these knots. Instead of breaking all these knots, what we are doing, we are putting more knots. So, unless we have grace of Krishna, we won't be able to have this knowledge. We won't be able to know properly the value of Krishna consciousness and then practice it. So, Krishna says in 10.8 Bhagavad Gita that those who know me, that I am the cause of this creation and I am the one who is maintaining, those who know me really in full will always engage in my service, and by engaging in my service, they will get delivered. So the solution to get out of this material entanglement is engaging ourselves in the service of the Lord. So all of us should find our own ways. There is no hard and fast rule that you only have to do this, you only have to do that. We can find, when we have a will to do somehow or the other, we will find a way to do it. When you don't have a will to do it, you will not even find a way to do it. Like how that eagle will sit on that branch. We will keep comfortably convincing ourselves of our unavailability to do the devotional service. But if we have a will, we will sneak out somehow or the other, and we will do that. We will arrange the things, and then we will plan properly. So we will find out a way. Definitely, all of us are smart enough to find out our own way to engage ourselves in Krishna's service. So the only strong thing that we have all to develop is the desire to serve Krishna. And how do we develop that? By seeing this kind of slokas, that how Pandavas have defeated all their enemies, have overcome all these miseries, all their miseries, and were always feeling safe and secure in this material world by taking the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord and by serving the Lord. And Pandavas are the greatest and bestest examples, the inspirations that we can take, because they are skillful, they are talented, it is not that they are taking shelter of the Lord because they are incapable of doing things, or they are not skillful, or they are not talented. Even after all those things, they know that they know their position, and they know by whose mercy and grace and blessings they are being so talented, and they are in position. So these incidents, these slokas will help us to keep us in our position. Placing himself as an ordinary household, Maharaj Yudhishthira inquired from Narad Muni how a Gruha Medi, a person who is entangled in household life and who thus continues to remain a fool. We will continue to remain a fool when we do not engage ourselves in self-realization or service of the Lord. Why we will be a fool if we don't do the service to the Lord? If we are not doing service to the Lord, where our time maximum goes? For cooking and eating, for enjoying our senses, for mating, for sleeping, and then for defending ourselves. So these four things our time goes. And actually these four things only we plan. We earn for these four things. We plan for these four things. We buy things for these four things. And we derive happiness and pleasure in doing these four things. Even though there are troubles when we are doing these things, but still we try to do all these things because there is some pleasure in these things. There is some pleasure when you are hungry and eat food. There is some pleasure when you are mating. There is some pleasure when you are sleeping. There is some pleasure when you are defending yourself. So that's why we are doing this. And we are thinking that as a human, that pleasure is giving me happiness, and that is my right, and that's what my human form of life is meant for. My dear devotees, all these four things, even animals do. Animals also feel pleasure when eating. Animals also feel pleasure when sleeping. Animals also feel pleasure when mating. Animals also feel pleasure when they are defending themselves. The enjoyment, the pleasure, the happiness they get is also same. So day and day, we are proving that I'm going to spend my life doing only these four things. Then we are also proving to Krishna that for me, all these four things are priority. And then we are qualifying ourselves to go into the lives of animals because we are not using the opportunity which was given to us to self realize, to find out who we are, whether we are this body or soul. Prabhupada repeats repeatedly in all his lectures, all his purports, you are not this body. We may be wondering why he is repeating, because that's so important to remember and that is so easy to forget. When the class is happening, when we are speaking, when we are doing, we remember that. But when actions come, we forget that we are soul, we are not body. So that's why we have to remind ourselves every day that I am soul, I'm not this body. And this body, human form, is a blessing, is a gift that is given to me to be with Krishna. To be with Krishna is what this body is given to me, the best gift. And if I'm not using that in that, then I have wasted one day. I have wasted one day in my life. And I did not prove to Krishna that I really want this form next time, or I want to go back. So Prabhupada writes in second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when you engage in devotional service to the Lord, there is no loss. At least you will get a human form of life. So that seriousness we should have. When we do an action, those who are in mode of goodness will think of the consequence even before doing the action. So we should all elevate ourselves to be in the mode of goodness, not in passion or ignorance, where we don't think about the consequences of the actions. If we are not thinking about the consequences of the actions and we are doing, then we will never be able to elevate ourselves. So that's the pause is required in the life where we have to think what consequence I'm going to face in this act by doing this action. Is this really worth doing it? When we start questioning ourselves like that, our life starts changing. So we will be fool if we engage ourselves in only in these four and not use the human form of life, this Grihastha as an ashrama to elevate ourselves. If we use this as a place to enjoy senses, then that even animals do. So if we have to make a difference in our life, we have to use the Grihastha to engage in the devotional service of the Lord in our own ways. Do not look at the bad habits we have. Do not look at the material desires we have. Do not look at any of the things that we are getting engaged in which we should not be. Don't look at all those things. Just every day look at an opportunity to serve Krishna. We don't need to worry about any of those things. Most of the times we have a misconception that I'm not eligible to do service to Krishna because I have so many things going on with me. I'm not following the regulative principles. I'm having so many material desires. So let me take time to purify myself and then I will practice Krishna consciousness. No, if we wait like that, life will be done. So we should first doing whatever we can. Ena kena prakarena. Somehow or the other do it. Whether it is good or not, whether it is by force or not by force. Sometimes when I tell my children to do something, they'll just say, okay, I'm going to do it for you. I'll say, okay, good, do it for me at least. So in the same way, you tell yourself that, oh, I'm going to do it for the sake of the soul because I'm soul. Even though I didn't realize this is what the scriptures are saying, somehow or the other, I will do this. This 10 minutes, 1 minute, I'm going to engage myself in the service of the Lord. And then we can put a tick mark. Oh, today I have lived like a soul. I'm good. I have qualified myself to be getting another form where I can elevate myself. Otherwise, we are just fools. We may be saying that I'm the richest person. I have so many PhDs. I am this, I am that. I am president, I am prime minister. But if you don't spend your day in self-realization, that is what Prabhupada is saying here. So, to remain fool can be delivered. Narad Muni encouraged Maharaj Yudhishthira by saying, you're already on the safe side because you, along with your entire family, have become a pure devotee of Krishna. So Narad Muni has already certified that You are safe. Don't worry. So we will also be safe when we become pure devotee of the Lord. By Krishna's grace, the Pandavas conquered in the battle of Kurukshetra and were saved from many dangers posed not only by kings but sometimes even by the demigods. Thus, they are a practical example of how to live in security and safety by the grace of Krishna. The real security and safety we will get only by the grace of Krishna. How many of us could save our loved ones when they are far away? We cannot. We don't even know what things they are going in their mind, how the things will turn out. We don't know anything. We are so limited in so many ways. And then still we keep trusting our intelligence, our money, our network, our things, and we think that, oh, this is what is important. I don't have time to practice Krishna consciousness because I have to do all these things to my children and keep them safe and secure. And we miss the biggest thing, that is Krishna consciousness. So the Krishna's grace is there. If Krishna wants to protect, there is nobody in this two worlds who can do anything to us. If Krishna does not want to protect, there is nobody who can save us. That is so proven. Sometimes I really don't want to take examples of bad incidents that happened in life because that makes me so much sad. But there was one lady who missed the flight. And there are so many people who are supposed to go on another day has booked on that day. So we really don't know what and how the things happen. And still we go around and keep our trust on so many other things except Krishna. We should be keeping our trust on Krishna. And then that what is makes us safe and secure. Because once we are safe and secure, then only we will start focusing on Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, we will be always running behind that safety and security. And then here, Narad Muni is saying that, oh, you will be safe and secure when you come to Krishna. So come to Krishna first. Then automatically the things will be solved. Everyone should follow the example of the Pandavas who showed how to be saved by the grace of Krishna. Our Krishna consciousness movement is intended to teach how everyone can live peacefully in this material world at the end of the life, return home back to Godhead. So, the practicing Krishna consciousness, chanting the holy names of the Lord, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, serving the Lord is going to guarantee peace in the material life and also guarantees us to go back to Krishna, which is very difficult. In the material world, there are always dangers at every step. We all know that. Nonetheless, if one takes shelter of Krishna without hesitation and keeps under the shelter of Krishna, he can easily cross the ocean of nuisance. So our Krishna consciousness is like that secured boots. If you are walking on a path and there are thorns, if you walk without boots, the thorns will poke you and make you bleed and make you suffer. And if you have the boots, strong boots, and then you can easily walk on that path, even though there are stones. So the Krishna consciousness gives us that shelter, that shell, by holding which we can cross this ocean of nuisance. So Prabhupada writes next that to the devotee, this great ocean of nations becomes like a puddle of water in the hoofprint of a cow. Actually, this is a big ocean of nations. Why it is compared to ocean? Because we are only enduring few bad karmas and few good karmas in this life. We have done millions and millions of bad karmas and millions of good karmas, which may have to still get fructified. And for that, we may have to take millions and millions of life. And it will never end unless we take to Krishna consciousness and surrender to Krishna, who is going to cut those knots completely. And he will make that big ocean as a calf, like you know how a small calf puts a hole in the earth and it becomes a small hole. You can easily jump through it, jump and go. So that's how it becomes when we take shelter of Harinam, Krishna's names, Krishna's pastimes and Leela, and practice devotional service seriously. Any big ocean, it feels like, oh, it's just a small puddle. I'm going to cross this. I'm not going to worry about this. So that is what it is. The perspective towards the material life, the perspective towards the troubles changes as we are progressing in Krishna consciousness. It's not that the troubles are gone. We are not worried about them. We are not thinking about them. We are not baffled by them. We are not distracted by them. So that's what happens to us, and which is something, very, very difficult these days. It is not that people want those troubles to go away. Sometimes they don't want to worry about those troubles. And I notice that people suffer more worrying about the troubles than the real troubles. And I try to when I hear and I try to say, but even after saying multiple times, that inner that perspective from inside doesn't come for many people, and then they suffer a lot. And once that perspective from inside changes our attitude towards the troubles, we are happy actually. And that happens with Krishna consciousness, which is the biggest blessing. The same trouble bothers someone a lot and does not bother somebody. That stage we will go when we have Krishna consciousness. And that's what we really need also. That peaceful, satisfaction is something which you cannot buy with anything. That safe and secure feeling and satisfaction is something that comes from inside. And we need to, when we get that, when we have Krishna consciousness, so many unnecessary things go away from our mind, and then we will be satisfied. A pure devotee, without embracing himself by trying for elevation in so many ways, stays in safest position as a servant of Krishna, and thus his life is eternally safe without doubt. So a pure devotee of Lord does not want to go to the heavenly planets, or does not seek anything big in material life also, because he knows that it is very temporary, and he feels safe at the lotus feet of the Lord. And then he, whatever comes on its own accord, he embraces that, and he fulfills his needs, he works for his needs, and all the rest of the time he spends in Krishna consciousness. So serving the Lord is by serving the Lord, we attract the grace of Lord, and we'll feel safe and secure in this material world, which is full of dangers. So the take home for us to feel safe and secure is to increase the quality of our sadhana, and to do that as the first thing in the day, and do a retrospective at the end of the day, how we have performed, and to do better next day. I'm going to stop here, Prabhuji and Mataji. I'm sorry I took 10 minutes more. If anybody have any questions or comments or corrections, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mataji, for such a wonderful and a very, very practical class. So many, small, on a day-to-day basis, one has learned today. Thank you, Mataji. I have two requests, Mataji. One is, I don't know, I can tell Sham Rasika Mataji to, if you can send the photograph of Radharani that you have on your DP, I would appreciate it. And the second thing, Mataji, I wanted to ask you was that I don't know, it is, I've heard, it may not be true, but wanted to confirm that, yes, the Pandavas took, full shelter under Lord Krishna, and that's how, with his grace, they could tide through the difficult times. Is it true that even Duryodhan, after he left his body, also got he also got moksha? Or, I mean, what I'm trying to understand is, what was the difference between the Pandavas and Duryodhan when they left the body? We know about it in the first place? And if we do, I mean, was there any difference? I mean, yes, in this world, it was much easier for Pandavas to tide over the difficult times. But I mean, I heard something different. I just wanted to ask you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Everybody in the Kurukshetra war got liberated. Duryodhana is no exception. All of them got liberated because they all died in the presence of Krishna. There was Krishna in the battlefield. So all of them got liberated. But their liberation is not like a liberation which is like closer to Krishna. So they are just their liberation is like a normal liberation, where they will not have birth again, and then they are eternal, but they won't go into the Golok Vrindavan closer to Krishna. Only devotees of the Lord go there. So Pandavas' liberation is going and serving the Lord eternally in his abode. rest all these demons liberations is only like a first kind of liberation, where they will be just entering sometimes into the impersonal Brahman, or to the level where, like, in the outskirts of the spiritual world. I forgot that word, that's why I'm looking for that. But the difference between their liberations is that, like, they won't go into the closer sections of Krishna, like how Pandavas and other great devotees go and serve him directly there. And all the soldiers who are in the Kurukshetra wall, they all got liberated. They all get into the Sayuja. That's the word I was looking. They all went and merged into the impersonal Brahman, because of the presence of Krishna. It's not they are great there. It's because Krishna is there. They died seeing Krishna. They all got liberated.
Thank you, Mataji. But but it's actually not fair for Duryodhan to get it, and his brother, who Dushasan, but Krishna is
Yeah.
very compassionate, so I guess that's right.
Yeah, that's what. Krishna is very compassionate. Krishna is like that. Uh, Whoever comes in context, they get. So they are, in one way, it's not fair, but it's like they are fortunate that their enemy is also Krishna. They are in the time where Krishna is there in the Kurukshetra. So.
Yes, Mataji. And Mataji, it'll be really nice if you can come more often for our Bhagavatam classes. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
And I will send you that picture. That is, I think maybe Shamarasika Mataji could have identified. She's Kishori of ISKCON Chicago. They had their
Yes.
51st anniversary recently, and I really liked Kishori so much with that.
Yes,
decoration.
Mataji. It's one
I'll
of the
send
best
you.
ones I've seen.
Yeah.
And if you have Lord Krishna's also in the same kind,
Oh, yeah.
it'll be nice. Thank you,
Yeah,
Mataji.
I will send it. I will
Yeah.
send it.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanam Pranam, all good Lord Srila Prabhupada Guru Maharaj. Thank you for a
Very
wonderful class, and so many examples you have given, and the message was crisp and clear, and the way you have read the Srila Prabhupada purport and line by line and explaining and relating with the given examples, that was very enlightening. I mean, I don't have any question, but yes, I mean, classes like this, especially in the morning, like, the entire day goes much better, and you're more energetic and you're more Krishna conscious, I would say, because you are enthusiastic to finish your chanting. And as you said, like, read Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, so that our faith is firm in chanting, because that is the only way, like, we can be delivered.
Mhm.
And the common things that you have said, like, the sleeping, mating, and defending, and eating, all these activities we do, but we have to step above this, and stay in touch with the devotees, be Krishna conscious. Yeah, so entire class was good, Mataji. Yes, thank you so much. Please come often.
Thank you,
We need
Prabhu.
this kind of special liftment.
Thank you, Prabhu. After a long time, get to hear your voice and talk to you.
Yeah, sure. And I was also there in recently Kishore Kishoriji's temple when I
Oh,
went to drop my son in Milwaukee for his internship. Devotees
okay.
are very nice, and deities, and the temple was very good.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. I encourage devotees to unmute and ask any question or share your realization.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanam Pranam, all good Mr. Prabhupada. As usual, your class is fantastic. So they are all called to action, because without action, we are just Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma, doing nothing. But here you are mixing all your classes are called to action. So very, 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 very nice. I mean, it's so important to realize that in happiness or distress, if the Krishna consciousness means that not only keep us steadfast, but also keep us more true to Krishna. I mean, I was reflecting that my father also, he was a karmi, though he had some initial blooming in Krishna consciousness, because he is from the Bengal, East Bengal side. So he had some grooming. But anyway, due to the influence of Maya, and there was no Prabhupada there at that time, so he got a little bit deviated. So anyway, I was to some extent able to, but that's a side matter. But what he used to say is, at the Karmi level, he used to say, if you want to be happy with your situation, then think that you are, think of somebody who is lower than you. Then you'll be happy with it. So if you are, so that is one way. And then the next way is, of course, Brahmabhuta Prasanatma. So if you are Brahman, so you are not at all affected by this. So that is at the Gyani level. And at the Bhakta level, your prescription that Matra Spasha Kanseo and subsequent that Jiva Saruva Krishna Nityadas, whichever way people they prasad path. So that kind of a so we are at the highest level dealing with the reverses and also and that in fact we are using that to increase our bhakti, which is the most important thing. So very important to develop your class is emphatic. Mataji was saying he's the station more in the.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much for this nectarian, beautiful class, so practical. There are so many practical points we can take away. I like the point you mentioned that we got this human life to be with Krishna, but if we don't realize that and understand this point, and we are giving chance Krishna to get again animal birth. So that was a very important point, Mataji. And other points also very nice. And we heard you after a long time. And as everyone says, very nice class, Mataji. And yeah,
Thank you, Ma.
Kishori temple is so beautiful. That is our first temple in USA. So
Yeah.
Kishori, Krishna is also so beautiful.
Yeah. Yes, Mother.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And also, I would like to share with all devotees that Mataji is so busy with 3 kids. Prabhuji is moved to, because of his job, he's in another city, and Mataji is working full time. But whenever I request Mataji, she is always there to serve devotees and give the classes. And she has other conferences call also in her local language, like South Telugu and other languages, English languages. So thank you so much, Mataji, for your association and giving time to us.
Thank you, Mataji, especially for calling me yesterday, Mataji. So thank you for engaging me.
Thank you. All good, Prabhupada.
Praise to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj.
Greet Mataji by saying 3 times Hari Bol.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Haribol.
Haribol. Haribol.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I just have one question. The question that Mataji asked about liberation during the Mahabharata war. So, like there are a couple of examples. Like one is the Ashwatthama. Like we hear about him that he will never die because of curse and all this. And so I want to know, like like at the end of the day, when of the Brahma, like he will die at that time because then everything gets annihilated. And the other thing is like there are some people who are Chiranjeevi, like Hanumanji, he's Chiranjeevi, So like when this material world is done, or is it at the end of the Brahma's life, or I get sometime puzzled with that. If you can clarify.
Yeah, I will share what I come across. But I so actually, you know about Markandeya Rishi. He is also called as Chiranjeevi. Like he got, but it's only 7 days of Brahma he lives.
Okay.
It's only 7 days, like because he is the only person who lives in the night of Brahma. Usually in the night of Brahma, which is equal like the day of the Brahma, none of the living entities will be there. So only he will be there. And then at that time, Krishna as that Vatapatra Sai on the on the leaf. Krishna comes as a small baby and he sucks his thumb. So when it comes to Markandeya Rishi, he only lives 7 days. But it's been mentioned always like he's a Chiranjeevi. So when we look from our perspective, our calculation, it looks like a long life. So that's what. But I did not come across anywhere any reference saying that. Um, I mean, I only heard that Chiranjeevi, as you said, the both names, Aswadhama and Lord Hanuman. Like Hanumanji comes like on a different plane completely, like Lord Shiva has incarnated as Hanuman,
Yes.
or like that. So I am reading Ramayana, but I did not come across that incident anywhere, like which speaks about like how he is eternal or Chiranjeevi or anything. So that's why I'm not able to quote or talk authoritatively on that. I only know about the Markandeya Rishi because I've come across that in Jagannath, the pastimes book, like how he only lives 7 days. And there is a in Mahabharata also, Markandeya Rishi's pastime comes. But I did not come up across these. I will look and I'll let you know. But what I understand when looking from Markandeya Rishi's thing is like, it's not like they live forever because the universe itself will not be there, right? Like it gets dissolved. And they all go back to Krishna. We all go back to Mahavishnu. But there is one thing which comes like Dhruva's planet. Dhruva's planet also will not dissolve when everything gets dissolved. So a reference to that was given saying that it will not be visible. Like, so it looks as if like it's destroyed, but it won't be visible. So I don't know if that kind of reference anywhere is there with respect to Aswadhama and Lord Hanuman. If I come across, I'll pass on that to you. But I did not read about that anywhere. And I just don't want to speculate. So
Yes, Mummy.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Mataji, I have a question which is not relevant to today's class. Is that even Parshuramji is Lord Vishnu's avatar, right?
Yeah,
And
Sekti.
he's also Chiranjeevi. So basically, in Ramayana, we had two avatars. When Ramji went for breaking for the Shiv for Sita Ji's Swamvar, that time Parshuramji had come. He was in anger. So two avatars at the same time, or just an expansion.
So same avatar in in two yugas. He's the same person who comes in Treta Yuga and also in Dwapar Yuga.
Yes, but
So,
but two avatars together because they were
but
together.
Rama is a complete Purusha avatar and Parasurama is a Sekti Avesha avatar. So the difference is Sekti Avesha avatar is like Krishna instills that power in that avatar. It's not like a full avatar. Like he has the power to kill the Kshatriyas. So he was only empowered for that. Sekti Avesha is like the empowerment is given only for that. Like how Vasudeva is a literary empowered incarnation of the Lord. So it will be simultaneously at the same time. Look, he is literally empowered to write the all the scriptures. So empowerment is given to that avatar. So and multiple avatars can exist at the same time because they are eternally living same time also. Krishna can live eternal. All those avatars are eternally in the spiritual worlds at the same time. It's not that when Rama is there, Krishna is not there. When Rama is there, Narsimha is not there. They all have their own planets in the spiritual world and they all exist eternally. So
Yes,
they can
Mataji.
come at the same time, all of them also.
So
And when Krishna comes, actually, all of them come with him. All the avatars merge into him and come. That is mentioned in Bhagavatam.
Oh, thank you, Mataji. So what you're saying, who is not, the Parshuramji is not a full avatar.
It's not a full avatar. It's a Sekti Avesa avatar.
So, and Vasudeva ji, you mean Lord Krishna's father?
No. Vyasadeva. Sorry if I say
Vyasadeva.
Vasudeva.
Okay.
Vyasadeva. Yeah.
Ah.
The one who wrote the Bhagavatam.
Yes. So he's also not full avatar, right?
No, he's not full avatar.
Okay.
And I
So
was reading in Queen's Teaching of Queen Kunti where Prabhupada mentions that success potency, Lord's success potency is instilled in Kunti Devi. So she is that power is empowered in her. So Krishna gives one power in fullest to one avatara so that they can perform that act for which they have come.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Madharat Pranam to you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji, for your association. And yes, I also heard you after a long time. And today I was, I was engaged in something busy, but then I had said, oh, it's Mataji's class today, and I immediately joined. So I liked one point you mentioned about Kunti Maharani prayers, because I used to think that everybody said she's asking for problems, but then you mentioned one very important line. And you said she's telling Krishna that you can give me problems provided you are there.
Yeah.
So
Provided
that is
I
such
get
an
you, yeah.
important. Yes,
Mhm.
Mataji, because generally when we with us it is we face problem and then we pray to Krishna that this problem is there, Krishna. So I don't know how I'm going to do it. At the same time, sometimes we're suffocated too, because we can't even ask from Krishna anything, and then and when we ask something from Krishna and he provides and we feel bad, why did we ask from Krishna? So sorry, Mataji, go ahead. You were saying something.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just listening to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, in the sense that her prayers are, she's so determined, such a determined lady, and I feel that most of the Matajis in our Krishna consciousness, who are like quite helpless, uh, as a practitioner, I would say. Um, you know, do you think Krishna is more with them, or they are like I had heard that he didn't help his own mother. I mean, I'm just getting a little emotional, Mataji, because Krishna is so merciful, na? So I'm not able to talk properly, but his own mother, he didn't help, you know. But he helped Kunti Maharani because she didn't have a husband, who by her side. So it was very touching emotion, Krishna has, especially towards Mataji's. And even when we hear about the story of when Krishna and all were Krishna and uh, all his people were very hungry in the jungle, like Krishna knew that the husband will not provide with the prasadam. They'll say, no, yagya ho raha hai, all that. But then they said to go to the wives. So it's so nice to know that the Lord, who we pray to, is, you know, is reading our hearts as Mataji's, So I just
Yeah,
very emotional I
Bhagavatam.
became after hearing your class, Mataji, and thank you for encouraging us. Uh, to give priority to reading and chanting, and yeah, that's all I had to say, Mataji.
Yeah, Bhagavatam glorifies many, many great female devotees. And when females take up the Krishna consciousness, they do it more and more. Prabhupada also mentions that, like,
Yes.
they will become great devotees. So, and females, as we are the one who keep about ourselves and our material or spiritual life at the backstage when we are a family, when we become a wife, or when we become a mother. We do that, but we should definitely take care of ourselves also. If we are good, then we will be able to be more doing more good to others also. Like, we will be more clear in what we should do and what we should not do. So we should really take time for our spiritual life, and we should also take time for ourselves. Like, the best thing that we can do for ourselves, I don't know how much happiness we get by going and doing the material things. Generally, sometimes we see people, the feminist idea of taking care of us is like doing so many other things. I'm not against all those things, but the one thing that we should do for ourselves is like giving priority to our spiritual life also. Nowhere it is like we are less privileged or to take seriously our spiritual life. It's more challenging for us because we may have a lot of responsibilities, but still we should find a way and love ourselves first as souls, and take the spiritual life very seriously. and keep it in the first place. Try our best in somehow or the other. Yes, Bhagavatam speaks about many beautiful prayers of female devotees, starting from Uttara. She only speaks 2 lines, but it comes in the beginning when she runs to help Kunti Devi. Draupadi. Draupadi is such a great devotee, actually. If we see Mahabharata, the prayers she do were like, they are nectar. They are nectar. And the amount of detachment and philosophical outlook Draupadi has is great. So Bhagavatam glorifies many, Devahuti. And then like that, we see so many great devotees. Yes.
Yes, Mataji, one day you can have a class on these great personalities, Matajis. And, with Draupadi, you mentioned her name. And I remember uh, that I feel the emblem, she should get like a prize for empathy because her own son passed away and she was concerned about not killing. I'm not good with names, Mataji. Whoever killed her son, somebody, So she was saying that no, the mother will be upset and he's a Brahmana. So I just know little bit. Right, something like that. So she was so empathetic, not bothering about what pain she's going through, but whoever is alive, she was concerned about that person's well-being. So yeah, amazing Mataji.
Mhm.
Love to hear about these Matajis and because they really help us in our spiritual life, because just like in our material life, we can take inspirations from maybe our grandmother. Like my grandmother was very selfless, my mom's mom. So anytime she'll wake up and any time of the day, 24 hours, she'll go and cook, I mean, they never used to offer, but she would cook vegetarian food and, she would feed you and she would sit in front of you, she's not eating till you're not finished and give you company and food. So I cannot ever forget that. So whenever I try to, take things up from my grandmother, she was a lady from the village, but she truly believed in, like serving and giving company to a person also while serving. So small things are there. But yes, Mataji, I mean, I know the class coming from you about the great personalities will be great. And if Shamarasika Mataji is listening to me, then that can be incorporated one day, and different sections of Bhagavatam can be incorporated where because as you mentioned so importantly, like Prabhupada said that the Matajis have more devotion. With men, it's a little bit of ego is there and other things are there. So why
No,
not we hear?
he only mentioned the first part, like if devotees take up, uh, female devotees take up Krishna consciousness, they are more dedicated. The next part,
Mataji.
yeah,
Hmm.
is not there.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Thank you for being there with us here. Although you don't come every time, but you always glorify and say that you all are doing regularly and coming. Although I'm struggling to come regularly hearing, but we just try with Mataji and Prabhuji's blessings. Shamarasika Mataji and Nikunjas Prabhuji, because it's like they are dedicatedly so many years doing this seva, and I'm so fortunate to be in all of you's company. And also, Manidhar Prabhu greeting so nicely today. And I forgot to wish. I was like that time preparing some things for my husband. He was leaving. So yeah, my Danat Pradam to all the devotees. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Mataji. I have one question. Sorry, somebody else spoke.
Yeah, please go ahead, Mataji. I was just thanking Mataji.
Yeah, one very quick question, Mataji, is that Draupadi, yes, she was pretty selfless when she said not to kill Ashwatthama. But also, I wanted to ask you, she also wanted revenge, right, from Duryodhan's brother Dushasan. Wasn't was I mean, I'm asking you, Mataji, is that true?
Actually, before she wanted, Bhima and all already promised that they are going to take revenge. So, and she was upset, definitely, because she questions Yudhishthira when they were all, when they all went to the forest. So she questions him like, what is the use of following the dharma when we are all suffering like that? She questions. But she didn't wanted the kids to be killed, right? Like Duryodhana and Dusyasana, yeah, definitely, like they deserve it. So Yep.
No, but what I'm saying is that yes, she must have been a very, very elevated soul, definitely. But there are one or two points that do come up where she has some vices, right? Like she also said now to the whole thing started because she said to Duryodhan that about his blindness, right?
No,
Uh,
no, no. That was
his,
not there, Mataji. That is all in movies, actually.
oh, okay, that's wrong
That's
then.
all in movies. In the
Okay,
real Mahabharat, she is a very, very properly spoken lady, actually.
okay,
So
Mataji.
that was all like, yeah, that is all cinematic. But we don't find her speaking rashly to any of them, actually.
Okay,
Only she expresses her frustration towards near Yudhishthira. Like not only she, all of them express. All Arjuna, Bhima, everybody, like when Yudhishthira says like we have to go, and then actually Duryodhana makes their stay more and more difficult in the forest. Like he plans to torture them. Like
right.
so, when they are facing those problems, she only questions Yudhishthira, asking like, uh, "Is this what worth following the dharma?" Like they have already done enough mistakes. So one thing we all have to remember, Mataji, like Shastra says, six kind of people should be killed immediately. One who puts fire to your house, one who abducts or does mean things to a guru's wife or somebody else's wife. So Duryodhana has qualified to be killed by his actions way before. So calling a bad person a bad is not wrong, actually. We should not show compassion there. Then you are putting compassion at the wrong place. That's completely wrong. These six people, according to the Shastra, they should be killed because if they are killed, their sin is reduced, actually. If they are punished on this world, their sin is reduced. Otherwise, they have to go back and suffer for the sins they have done more in the other things. So they should be punished. So Duryodhana and Dusasana has qualified themselves by pulling her, disrobing her, and insulting her, like touching another's wife. Is that's where actually Duryodhana and Karna insults her. They're saying like, you already have five husbands. What it is going to do any difference if you take any one of us? So they actually speak like that. But in actual Mahabharat, you don't find her doing that.
Okay, Mataji.
So many
Thank
things are different when we read the actual scripture,
right,
which
Mataji.
are not taken for. If they show like that, then cinematically you don't really see, right? Like, but they all were not just because of Draupadi they did Kurukshetra world. They were already troubled by then by so many things by the Duryodhana and all, like so.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Mataji, I wanted to mention one thing in reference to Mataji's question today. Like, in the material world, when through my family, before I was in Krishna consciousness, there was a very popular verse in my in-laws side that, oh, this person is like Narad Muni. I mean, so, and I would say, why do they mention one of the characters of Mahabharat like that? That, he will come and he will, be everywhere and then say this, do that, and, involved everywhere in a very negative way. Now when we see that it's Naradji, right, who was a small child and his mother became orphan, Naradji, right? I'm forgetting
Yes,
the whole
ma'am.
name. We don't call Narad Muni, it's Naradji.
Yeah, but he's Narad Muni also, Mataji. He's a sage
Okay,
also.
Narad Muni. I'll call Narad Muni then. Yeah, as you said. So Narad Muni is like you mentioned in your class today. He's touched so many people's life, and he's like a spiritual master. So we hear something from the material world, and then we have a different picture. And when we're reading scriptures, it's like a bright light, opened. I said, oh. So every time something was mentioned, I was like, no, no, no. He's like a spiritual master. We cannot talk about him like that, because this is just from movies and all that they will show in the Mahabharata that suddenly he's appeared, you know and then he's intervening and seeing what is going on, and then he's somewhere else, and he's doing like talking from here and talking from there. So such a false picture comes to mind. I wish we could have these serials more based on Hare Krishna or Krishna consciousness, just like the Hare Krishna movie came, depicting so many glories of Srila Prabhupada and his struggles. So it's so important to enlighten people because we at ourselves were in that same boat. So I've just, that Naradji came to my mind, like I've been trying to convince my family, is like, you should read the glories of him. He's like really glorified. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that, Mataji. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. In our like Maharashtra also, it was said like Kalicha Narad, like who always is सबके ये करते हैं ना सब जैसे आपने बोला but that is a material perspective Mataji, that's why people are telling
Yes,
about.
Mataji. My husband would say that, I'm when I got married, told me like, they call me Naradji. So I said, what? He says, yeah, because they all say that I'm intervening. I said, you're elder, so you have to intervene everywhere because he was the elder brother. My husband is elder, he's got younger brother and sisters. So he said, I said, okay, well, it's a good thing because you intervene everywhere and you want to know what is going on, trying to resolve everyone's problem. He says, no, but I'm said in a negative way. Then I told my husband, no, he's a great person. If people called you that, or then you must have got some good qualities. So in a material world, they say things in a very different way because scriptural backing and knowledge is not there. So and there are so many other conceptions also I still have with me, like Gita Mataji mentioned, where I'm still clearing up. So we all in the same boat, Gita Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, you're right. But you know what? I think for new amateurs and people who cannot read for some reason the scriptures, and to start, it is not a bad idea. I got a lot from the, and they may not be all 100% correct, but got a good idea. And during COVID times when we watched, and nowadays we are watching Hanumanji ke upar, and I do see a lot of discrepancy there also in Hanumanji. I keep telling my husband this doesn't seem true, but overall you get a good idea, and then you can read the scriptures after that. Thank you, Mataji.
Definitely. Hare Krishna.
Shall we conclude here, Mataji, if nobody has anything?
Mataji, sorry, I got disconnected. Did you answer my question?
Oh, you asked something?
Yeah, I asked that maybe my phone died, the battery was. So I joined with different phone. So that question was that you mentioned like the Draupadi was asking that is that what we get if we follow the dharma? So what was the answer, Mataji, for that question?
Oh, that was so, yeah, that was a long conversation. He convinced him and narrates a story and all.
Okay,
So,
next
yeah.
time. Don't
So
have,
then, yeah, next time I will definitely bring out that chapter from Mahabharata.
yes. And as
Yeah,
you Mataji,
two or three chapters they speak, and
hmm,
then they also get doubt and they ask the Umya priest, like, are there anybody in this world who are troubled like us when followed Dharma? At
hmm,
that time, they get to hear the story of Nala Damayanti and how that happened. So, yeah, actually, Yudhishthir Maharaj, it's a beautiful conversation. We see how they ask and how he answers, and then how they gets convinced and they carry on. So, yeah, I will bring out that. I will remember to myself and make a note next time to talk about that
yes.
conversation
Thank you,
between them.
Mataji. And
Mhm.
yeah, also Rukmini Padma Mataji requested about the prayers and the stories of all Matajis in Mahabharata and Bhagavatam. Sometime if you get time, we can have a class of that, Mataji. It's a very good idea.
Yeah, sure, Mataji. I'll do my homework on that, and thanks for engaging me in that.
Whenever you are
Um,
just know.
yeah,
Because
I have to do the homework because I read and I do a lot of reading every day. So in that I'll note down, but when I have to speak, I do a lot of homework.
yes,
I go around and do that. So I'll start doing with Krishna's mercy because that is how devotees engage us in service. And yeah, sure.
Mataji, take your time and let us know whenever you are
Sure,
ready.
sure, sure.
Okay. If nobody has any question or comment, we can end up the call here. Maybe this is the stall the Vaishnavas. Jagal Patal Vaishnav.
Thank you.
नाम पावनी भी हो वैष्णवी
जय
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 शिला प्रपात की जय
जय
गणपति की जय
जय
मनवालिनी मंजरी माता जी की
की
जय
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 थैंक यू
थैंक यू माता जी
थैंक यू माता
हरे
जी हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा
बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल
हरि बोल
260 to 273 to 60
Bhagavad Gita not saying that Krishna doesn't exist. So this is how he is reaping the results of it. So in